Sorry, I ain't got no money. Hi, everybody. This is Ophelia. I'm the owner of the website cupidandI.com titled The Vibrant and Dynamic Woman. And today I just want to have a quick discussion, a quick talk with you on financial health. And I'm coming to you from a perspective of a person who have been in financial difficulties, who has been in financial difficulties, who has learned to manage her own finances and have overcome many of those challenges. So when we talk about financial health, what comes to mind? It's simply one state of one's financial situation, whether it's good, as in healthy, or whether it's bad, as in unhealthy. So, and when we talk about financial health, we look at things such as whether you have savings, retirement funds, emergency funds, those sort of things, whether you have assets such as house, land, any sort of property, investments. And let me ask you one question. This is for those of you who are working, because I'm dealing with people who are working now, who has an income. Because if you don't have any income, it's pretty difficult to be financially healthy if you don't have an income. But for those of you who has an income, right? If you were to lose your job today, how would you manage? Do you have an emergency fund? What's your backup plan? Because most of us we live from month to month, paycheck to paycheck. So, right, well, if your answer is no to that, then I just want to give you some tips that could help you respond positively to that within the next 6 months to 1 year, 2 years, but as soon as possible. They say six months pay as savings for an emergency fund. That's what books say is when they talk about an emergency fund, that you should save at least 6 months pay. But from personal experience, I've been unemployed for over 2 years. And I am saying to you that if it's possible for you to save more than 6 months of your salary, then do that. So each month you save as much as you can, just in case there might be some unforeseeable circumstance, whether it's losing your job or an illness or any sort of thing that could cause you to spend a large sum of money. Once you're working, try as much as possible to save, because you just don't know. Who would have thought that I would have been out of a job for 2 years after completing a master's degree and wanting something in my field and being unable to obtain such at this point. So take care of your finances now, because you just never know. Okay, well, one of the first things I'll tell you is to make a budget. So you're working, doesn't matter how much you're working for, the whole idea is to live within your means. So you make a budget of your expenses. And in that budget, you look at things like, first, you deduct savings. You make sure that the amount that you're going to save is the amount that you could afford to save every month. Don't go high. For example, if you're working for $5,000, don't be unrealistic in how much you're going to save, because if you know that your expenses will be like $3,000, then it's impossible for you to go and save $3,000 when you know that you cannot afford to save $3,000. So you save the highest amount that you can do without, that you don't need to go back and touch at the end, before the end of the next month when you get paid. So try as much as to do that. So you make your budget with your expenses and your how much you're going to save, your expenses, light, water, electricity, gas, transportation, rent. If you have any loans, you make your budget with all of that. If you normally go out, so your entertainment, your telephone bill, your internet bill, you make a budget with all of these. Make sure that when you add it all up, that it does not exceed your income. Because if it exceeds your income, it therefore means that you have to go back and try and reduce something. Look at something that you can do without. After you've made a budget, right? You should within that budget now there are certain things that you would want to do. For instance, you try as much as to capitalize on certain things. If you're living in an area where you could get like a points card when you shop at a supermarket or a store, then you sign up for points card at the stores that you frequently use. For instance, there are two supermarkets that I mainly go to, and so I've signed up for their points card. So every time I go shopping, I get points added to my card. And after a couple of months, I am able to retrieve money to add up to pay for my groceries. You could, along with coupons, you take advantage of coupons. In St. Vincent, we have Payless. When you shop there, you get coupons. And so you could take that you go online, you insert the information, do their survey, and you make sure you save the number, the code, so that when you shop next, that you are able to get that 10% or how much of it you get off. So you take advantage of these things. Another important point, when shopping, you don't need to buy the most expensive things, and you buy things that you use, because sometimes we buy things and we put them in the refrigerator and we don't use them. So if you're gonna be buying something that you know you're definitely not really gonna use, just leave it, and if you want it, then you go and you get it. Buy the regular things that you know you're gonna need, and buy things for like fruits and vegetables. There are times when some of them get expensive. So when certain thing gets expensive, then you substitute those. For instance, if you love lettuce and lettuce is $6 and you know you can't afford it, then buy some something else. Buy some just buy something else in some green leafy vegetable, kale, or if kale is cheaper, or any one of those leafy vegetables, you buy them, or just buy string beans, any sort of thing. If vegetable in terms of fruits, like grapes might be expensive, so you buy bananas, buy oranges, so you get the idea. Also, if you're going to be living on a budget, you have to make sure that you can afford to eat out. And if you really want to save it, my suggestion is to prepare your meals at home most of the time. Because by doing so, it doesn't make sense you go and you shop and then you putting it down and you're not preparing it. You're still going out to eat. So take time, prepare your meals, healthy meals at home, and enjoy them. You can treat yourself from time to time and go out and eat, but if you're going to make it a regular habit to buy a food every day, that's going to cost you almost $20, and you know you don't have the money to pay for that for the entire month, prepare your meals at home and save that extra money for something else. Utilize the internet in terms of messaging. Instead of buying credit for your phone to make a call, use WhatsApp to make that call if possible, or use Skype if possible, use Magic Jack if possible. So capitalize on these things that can save you. Plan ahead. For instance, like when you're shopping, don't wait until the last minute to say, oh, I am shopping. What I do in terms of shopping is that once I'm working, I'm not working right now, so shopping right now for me is I'm using what I have. But you're working, you might need to replace some things on a yearly basis. You plan ahead. So each month you put aside something in a savings account where you say this is for shopping, this is for a vacation. So you know you're going on a vacation, you know you need to shop. Start planning ahead. Don't wait until the last minute and then take your savings that you should have had left, that you should have had for emergencies, and then go and buy material things with it. So plan ahead. In terms of vacations, if you are going to, and you're surely going to take a vacation, because after working so hard you definitely need to take a vacation, even if it's once a year, once every 2 years, take a vacation. So here is, in terms of taking a vacation, I refer you to my blog, 9 Steps in Planning a Successful Vacation, on my site. And I also refer you to 8 helpful tips to consider when shopping on a budget. So there you will get tips on how to plan ahead for your vacation and how to shop when on a budget. Because in shopping I talk about buying things at discount, because you can wear expensive clothing but you don't need to pay full price for them if you capitalize on the seasons. For instance, you might have a semi-annual sale, July 4th of July sale, those kind of sales. And so and Black Friday sales, you take advantage of those, plan ahead and take advantage of those sales, so that you get things at sometimes up to 75% discount. And so you save so much money. If you're going to purchase a plane ticket, then don't wait until last minute. If you knew that you were going to travel from since when, at least a month ahead, so that you will capitalize on savings, and just save extra every month. Every buck that you can save it. And just go to my blog where you can get more suggestions on how to save. So in terms of financial health, again, I just want to ask you to look at your financial situation. Ask yourself whether or not you are financially healthy. And if you're just starting out working, well, nobody expects you to be financially healthy. But if you've been working for a number of years, we expect that you should have some assets, some emergency funds set aside for any unforeseeable events. If you're now starting out and you're not working for much, start small. It accumulates over time. You will find that money that you had, that it will accumulate over time once you start saving. I could remember when I just started in nursing school, I saved $50 a month. And as you go up and your salary increases, then you could add to that. So start small. Nobody is asking you to save $500 when you're only working for $1,000. Start small. Differentiate between your needs and your wants, and just make sure that in the event that something happens, you lose your job, God forbid that should happen, but just say something happened that you need to spend out money, you make sure that you have something aside. In terms of eating as well, I want to go back on that. In terms of eating, make sure that you eat healthy. I know sometimes we still might come down with illnesses even though we might have a healthy lifestyle, but make sure that you eat healthy, because eating healthy is one of the ways that you could actually help your financial health, because then you don't need to be going to the doctor every 5 days for coughs and colds and illnesses that can be avoided by prevented from happening if you eat healthy. So that's all for now. Hopefully I will have another chat with you on specific areas of financial health. One of the things I want to talk about in the future is about how to manage between your finances in terms of your education, because some of you might want to go off to university. If you're thinking about that, start saving a little bit towards that as well. So you have a regular savings and your emergency savings, and start putting a little in your regular savings and put in your emergency savings so that you could accumulate as much funds to help you at least a bit, to give you a foundation on which to start. So once again, I invite you to visit my Facebook page, Cupid and I Motivational Blogs and Poems. I'll soon change that name, but for now it's cupidandi.com motivational blog and poems, and my website is cupidandi.com, and the title of the site is The Vibrant and Dynamic Woman. Before I go, I just want to remind you to have positive energy always. Have a great evening, and it was nice chatting with you. Bye.